Yeah, I'm also bullish. Binance man, bullish, bull. Everyone is bull. That's perfect, guys. I'm actually bullish also. Extremely bullish, of course. Yeah, good to hear that, guys. Depends on time frame. Exactly. Exactly. I'm also bullish on the higher time frame, of course. Giga bullish. I like your answers, guys. Yeah, I'm also bullish, but the thing exactly, perhaps after a small pullback, right? So I'm going to show you what I'm thinking in here. Bearish. Yeah, that's possible, and that's why the trading is so interesting, because we are all looking at the same charts. We can all get same informations, but there is a different opinions, right? So let me show you what I'm thinking is going on in here, right? And then we will look if we will find some trades, right? So first of all, what has happened in here, in my opinion, is that we actually have created this bullish order block, right? So basically, these down candles, which has dipped into a discount, which is here below this line, right? So we basically measure the Fibonacci from this low, right, to these highs, right? Actually, to be exact, should be below this low, right? From the low which rejected, which took out the liquidity, to the highs. And then we want to see a correction into a 50%, right? If that happens, that means that this breakout is healthy and there's no need for more bigger correction, right? We can look a little bit back in here. We can go to the weekly, and it was same thing in here, right? We have seen a rejection in here, price break up, right? Then we had this boring range, almost 6 months, right? And once we dipped below this low and we rejected, price has been expanding, right? So the same thing has happened in here, right? And from here, we will be probably measuring again another expansion, right? How big it's going to be, we don't know yet, right? We don't know yet. I can show you on my higher time frame chart where I think we're going. Right, this is my higher time frame chart where I'm watching this channel, and I do think that after this, need a share screen. Can see your screen? Give me a second. All right. All right. I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry, guys. All right. So right now, let's go back here, right? Let's start it over. Nothing, no problem, right? All right. So we are here, right? And we can see that price has made this pullback. What is important in here, that this pullback was big enough to reach at least a close into a 50% of this level, right? Now in here we have the big wick, right? In other brokers it's a little bit different, right? So it's very close into it. That's important for us to know that we have a continuation, we have possible continuation, right? Same like here, right? We had a rejection here, we break the highs, right? New highs, then what came? This long boring range and pull back into a 50% at least, right? Close to it, right? Then we had the expansion. So now what happens in here, right? Expansion, pullback to 50%, and then we most likely gonna have expansion, right? If we look into my higher time frame chart, but I'm watching and monitoring something big on the bigger time frames, right? I think we are moving in this channel, right? And I do not think that after this kind of consolidation, manipulation and expansion in here, the price will be going lower, right? That's simply what's not happening, right? I do think that we will break higher and we're going somewhere around here, which will be top of this midpoint actually of this channel, right? You can see how the price has been reacting in here, right here, retested in here, now again in here, and now we're going to retest it again, right? Are we going to break above, retest and go higher? That would be great, but we don't know yet, right? At least what I do think is that the bull run will continue until the October. But what's gonna be playing in here, we don't know yet, right? There is definitely a huge demand, so this is possible. So let's go back into this chart, right? And again, on the monthly, we can see that we had actually this big candle which was manipulated down here, right? And now we closing above, right? So opening some trade right now, I would not say that it's not possible, but what I'm thinking, what I am personally waiting to enter, right? Will there be giveaways? Guys, not today. I think the next stream, there definitely will be a giveaway, right? So what I'm thinking is happening in here. Now we have close in here, right? Basically, we have last 2 days of the month, right? So the month will close somewhere. Now we have now the price is here, right? We don't know if it will close in 2 days in here or in here, right? But what mostly happens is you can look just a little bit backwards. Like if any monthly candle closes, right, the next month mostly dips a little bit lower before it continues higher, right? Every new month mostly has some wick, right? There is situation where there is no wicks, right? Like you can see in here, right? It was strong, right? Almost no wick, then going higher. But then you have wick, right? All the candles mostly have some wicks, right? So what I'm thinking is going to happen in here, that the price will close somewhere in here, and then we're gonna have some new candle opening, right? And there will be also a something like some wick, right? So that's where I want to position myself, right? Most preferably, it would be a retest of this monthly order block, right? So we can make this a little bit like this, so we see better, right? And let's go lower time frames, right? You can see on the weekly how long took it to professional trading. It took me quite long because I wasn't too consistent in the studying. I wasn't journaling in my beginnings. I was doing a lot of mistakes, jumping from strategy to strategy, looking for the shortcuts, right? And back in the days when I was starting trading, there wasn't so much informations, right? Like I'm not sure if it is good that today we have so many YouTubers and influencers, because you need to go through all of this rubbish, right? But there wasn't too much information like it is today, right? So yeah, I would say actually to become profitable, it was 4 years for me, but I believe that it could be much shorter if I don't do many mistakes as many people do, right? So now we are on the weekly. We have this monthly order block, and I do think that it would be perfect if this is retested in here, right, and then goes higher, right? This 100, it's actually around a 100k, 102. That would be, in my opinion, strong support. If it breaks, then the price going lower, right? If it breaks and close strongly below it, then maybe we can come to test this level, right? However, I don't think it's not happening, but everything is possible. So we have this monthly level in here. Hello, NeoTrader, glad to see you. We have this monthly level, and we need to find something in here, right? So let's go daily in here, right? And on the daily, we can see that we are actually here. I want to show you something here on the weekly, right? When we see that this week has closed like this, and it's leaving this high in here, right? And we can see that this candle, I'm sorry, this high, this candle is closing above this one. It means that we have liquidity in here, right? I've been explaining this in my I think I was showing that give me a second, here, right, daily bias. I was showing that I think in some previous streams, but it's important to know, right? So here is how you know the daily bias, where is the liquidity and where the price will go next, right? So we have the one candle, right, another candle closing above, so the liquidity is still above, right? So what does it mean for us? We need to drop lower time frame to read the candles, and we waiting on the lower time frames for the manipulations, and we will be positioning ourselves with the targets on these highs, right? If it would be about a reversal, we want to see this. We want to see a candle manipulated and price closing inside. Then you are looking for a pullback, right? Here, right? So for the reversal, we need to see these highs to be taken, right? So based on this, we have a strong monthly level, right? And we have highs closing in here. So most likely new all-time high is in a play, right? Let's go lower time frame. What we can see in here, we can see nice range in here, right? We can see nice range here, right? So now what you gonna do? Are you gonna trade in here when you see these lows in here quite relatively equal, right? And you're gonna bet that price will not go there? I tell you that you will most likely be a liquidity, right? So what you wanna do, if you know that the price is going where? Price is going here, right? You know about it. You have your target. Now you need to position yourself, right? How? Again, it's playing to both sides, right? So we need to see some sell signal which will trap traders inside the short trades, right? So what it could be, right? It could be maybe some trend line break, right? Maybe something like this. Right, you see it's already slowly breaking, right? But someone probably gonna have a trend line like this, right? So maybe below it, right? Anyway, we have this range and we want to see a manipulation in here into the level, and we have this level, right? This is our level in here. So I personally would be waiting for a correction, for a manipulation into this level. Now I wanted to go to 2 days chart, and here is also one nice thing, right? So we have this level, this down candle, right, which has dipped below this one, and that's from where we have seen the break of these highs, right? So basically in these down candles was accumulation of that power to take us higher. Now we can draw a order block which would be like this, right? That would make perfect sense to me to trade from this level, right? However, also we can dip, we can use this, which I like to use also, and measure the midpoint of that order block, right, which is in here, right? So that's how I would be framing my trade, my long, from here, right? That's something what I definitely have in my plan, right, for the next week maybe, right? It could take a little bit longer, right? We don't know, but definitely would be interested to trade below these lows, right? Now we can see also this rejection in here, rejection, right? And from here we can actually also measure this, right, which will give us our dealing range, right? So we want to trade below this 50%, right? Like if you remember in here, you want to wait for this pullback, right, into that 50%, right? That's where you want to position yourself perfectly, right? Now we can frame it like this in here because we are supported with this monthly order block, right? So price could dip below here, right? But also it of course can dump all the way down here, right? So I don't know, I cannot be just waiting in here and hoping that the price will dip down here, right? And I will frame my trade like that. What can then happen? It will takes me out, right? So I know about this level, and in this level I want to see a setup, right? If the setup occurs, I will trade in here. If the setup occurs, if the setup will not occur and it will still be looking like a dumping, I will be waiting, right? So that's all what I got in here on the Bitcoin, and I can only wait now, right? Let's look to the lower time frame, right? And it can be right now printing all these setups, right? Trying to attract the traders. You know, you see how they're leaving these lows, right? But the level is really lower, right? The market makers, big players, will not be trading in, they will not be entering in this higher part of this swing. They will be trading in the lower part, right? If they will be trading in here, right? So that's my view on the Bitcoin. Let me know what you think. Okay, that green level, previous range high. Do you think it gets swept before any serious bullish confirmation? You mean that green level, previous range high? This was before. Okay, now I don't know which level you mean. You mean this one? This level retested? Probably yes, right? We have this monthly level and we have this is a daily level, right? So this is where we will be looking for the setup, right? The setup is actually very simple. Yes, I mean that one. Yes, yeah, it can be. You know, we don't know that. Mostly on the new month, how it plays is that month will open, right, make some pullback, and then it starts to move somewhere, right? In this case, we expect we will go higher, right? I think I would pretty much stop. I don't want to say wasting the time with the Bitcoin, but here is nothing right now, right? Nothing what could really be interesting. That's all what I can do, right? Set up everything, set up alarm, and wait, right? Let's go. Okay, let's ask the questions. Volume has been kind of fading, maybe sign of accumulation. Yeah. Yes. Yes, they're just retailers trying to get some trades in. What do you think, Dave? Yeah, I would not want to say retailers. You know, many people think that if they are trading the ICT or smart money concepts, as it is called, that they are not retail traders. They are. If you, everyone, probably everyone from us in here is a retail trader. Me, you, everyone in here, right? Doesn't mean that you trade smart money or ICT or whatever you trade. You're not market maker. You're not smart money trader. You're trading just a concept which is called like that, right? So, what are you using to confirm your bias? Yeah, my bias, as I showed you before, I'm basically looking for this. I'm looking for this. This is I'm trading liquidity, right? So based on the candle close, focusing on the daily candle close, and that's how I am focusing myself, right? Obviously, on the higher time frames, this obviously works on the all time frames. And what is this here? Right, and obviously I'm actually starting from the higher time frame and then going on the lower time frame, right? So mostly looking on the weekly or liquidity on the weekly, right, and then looking for the lower time frame ranges to enter and trying to make my trade based on that, right? Can we take a look on the Solana? Of course. Now I'm freaking, yeah, of course you are freaking whale. Why I can get this? Yes, this PDF is actually not available right now. This PDF is actually something which I am recording this, which will be base trading camp with the basics of my strategy, and it will be free, right? So actually already finished all the videos, so you will be able to watch it in the videos with my commentaries, and you can learn my approach if you're interested, right? Every time market move up before the limits I placed, what I should do. I have BTC as the hour hype, and every time BTC reverses around the same order. I don't know. I don't want to chase setups. I'm waiting from now 3-4 days, but now I am getting frustrated. Wait a second, I need to read this question again, right? Market move up before the limits I placed. That I do. Okay, so you have, yeah, you have the, yeah, this is the thing, right? Actually, the strategy is the edge, but your real edge is not to do the mistakes when there is nothing happening, right? I mean, if you're not really day trader and you really don't trade like M15, like in this range, right? Which some people can do that, some people might find it profitable, but not me. I personally like to trade from the at least a 4 hours ranges, right? So then yeah, then you have trades. But if you, as you said that you have a 105, 800 buy limit, as you have it here, right? And you have some setup probably based on something different than me, price is not there, then you're just waiting, right? Then you're just waiting. Now, when you are identifying draw on the liquidity, do you prioritize the previous day's high or the candle close? High, right? Not candle close, but the highs. Okay, let's go to Solana. But first, actually, I want to show you. If I'm sorry, but I want to take you here, right? Just for the record, I missed this trade. I didn't take it, but I draw it before, and then I just came back to the chart and I see that it's playing, right? So here is actually what has happened, right? Just want to show you about, as we've been speaking about that liquidity, right? That what you're doing in here, which is here actually. Give me a second. Where was it? Here, right? For the reversal, you want to see a candle, then manipulation, and then you have the draw on liquidity lower, right? So it's, so we can see it in here, right? We have the range on the weekly, right, which is AVE right now. We can see also this manipulation which has happened in here took these highs, right, and then price start to move lower, right? If you're looking for this range, let me remove this, right? If you're looking for this range on the weekly, let me highlight it a little bit more, right? On the weekly, then we need to drop to the correct lower time frame, which will be 4 hours, right? Then we going to the 4 hours, right? And we can see that the price has been running above that range, and then we can see these candles has closed above this one, sorry, below this one, right? So in this moment, this is your order block, right? We have run above these highs. These previous highs was also taken in here, right? Then once the candle close above this one, right, that's the order block, right? So you can be entering actually in here immediately with this with the stop above here, or you can wait for the retest, right? And you can be targeting this, right? 50% of that range, right? That's the model number one, which I will be teaching you in this in this, right? So you can wait for that. I think it can help a lot of people, right? So it's basically described in here, right? We have the range, candle is running below to the key level, right? And then once it closes, right, you can be targeting 50%, right? And if it is in the trend, you can be targeting completely opposing range, right? Okay, so let's go. Now we have here, this is what's happening on the hour, right? I do think that we will go even lower, right? Long time no see, Dave. Howdy. When aligns this with higher time frame key levels, are you mostly looking at 4 hours FEGs or weekly structure? Yeah, there is a specific alignments, right? On the weekly, from the weekly range, looking on the 4 hours, from the daily range, 1 hour, etc., etc., right? So now I do think that we will go lower in here, right? As we mentioned, we have this 4 hours order block in here, right? And from this order block, we had the reaction and then break through these highs, right? So where will be another order block? Another up candle, which was this one, right? So from this candle, or it could be from the midpoint of that candle, of the whole one, right? Here will be another potential for the trade, if it will retrace, right? With the stop above here, right? And something like that, right? Which is not giving the best risk reward, right? So we need to we need to scale on the lower time frame for the entry, right? But anyway, let's go to look to Solana, who was asking, who was requesting. So where is the Solana? Here, right? Solana is ultra boring right now, right? Watch this, right? So here is what I'm seeing happening, right? I do think that as we had this big range in here, right, that the price been manipulated in here and price going higher, right, on the daily. Right, so that happened in here. I actually had the trade in here, right? And now we reached the 50% of this range, right? Around the 50% of this range, there's always and always some manipulation, right? What does it mean? The stop losses are taken, right, often in this range. So what's happening in here? In my opinion, I think they will go for the stop losses here, right, for the pullback. The time for the pullback right now before we go higher, right? Right. Hi Dave, how long do you manage to comply in here with the HyroTrader? Because as I can see, this one is contra with the tactic. What is contra with the tactic? What is contra? You mean my strategy? Right, so I think that some pullback is coming in here, and as you know, as I trading the ranges, uh, I would not be trading anything in the midpoint of the range, right? So if we draw a range like this, right? And now you look at this, we are in the midpoint of the range, right? So if you remember from the previous streams, I'm only buying the lows, selling the highs, and I don't do anything in the midpoint, right? Yeah, I understood. I don't understand exactly what you mean that my strategy doesn't comply with the HyroTrader, right? So Yeah. Yeah, I'm not in any trade at the moment. At the moment, I'm not in any trade, right? For me, this is ranging. There's nothing interesting, right? Could I short it here? Of course. I do think that it can go lower, but I'm not seeing really any setup in here, right? Let's go lower time frame, right? What I can do in here, I can obviously do some analysis and try to force it, right? But how profitable it is, right? We can see these lows in here. It's not really seeing like a kind of my setup in here, right? This is the days. Oh yes, so is there going to be any live setup from today? Well, probably not, my friend. Probably not gonna have a live setup, right? Because this is in the range. We can try to go through the pairs, right? Also here H bar, right? I'm waiting for the setup for quite some time, right? Look, I got a range, right? Price moving in here, price going lower, right? In here, it's creating another range, right? Preferably, I would like to see a dump into this level, right? Then there I will be interested, right? You can see I got the alarm in here, waiting, right? Trading is a waiting game. Davis all in Pepper coin and no, I'm not. Right, here's Ethereum. Actually, I do think Ethereum also is printing this pullback, right? So let me show you what I see in here. We have this range, this higher time frame range, right? Be reaching this 50%. I do think that we're gonna get pullback and continuation higher, right? So maybe on the lower time frame we could find a short trade, right? So let me show you. Right, we have this range manipulated now. Price most likely will be closing inside, right? And also it's already happening on this range, right, where we have two candles closed inside, right? To be more confirmed, I would like to see this week also closed inside, right? Let's drop lower time frame, right? On the 4 hours we can see this last up candle, right, manipulated this range, these two highs, right, closing inside, right? So there would most likely be a kind of short setup like this, right? This 50% as a first target and this one as a second, right? So that's kind of setup which I think, which I already have a little bit drawn in here, and I think it could play out, right? Giving me a sense as a with all this setups what's happening in here, right? Because we had this run above the range, right? What has happened in here, right? First break, then creating this double top, right? Then again, look at this. You have trend line break, right? New stop losses appears in here. They run for the stop losses, right? And now it could happen, right? I want you to see scalp and low cap today. What about Ethereum? Yeah, we have Ethereum in here, right? We have Ethereum in here, right? And I think I'm going to short this one, right? Because it looks good. I was looking at it before. Everything makes sense to me. Yeah, scalping will come a little bit later because I need to a little bit prepare something what I've been working on, some strategy which I've been trading in the past before I went higher time frames back, and I need to a little bit back test and get more confidence, right? before I will start to do scalping. But definitely I'm planning that for the streams to go more intradays, right? Like lower time frames, right? Yeah, I think I'm going to take this short in here, right? No, guys, I'm going to take this short for sure right now. Let's go. I think I will enter the market in here. So how I want to do it, right? But of course, guys, this would not be a what I'm always doing, right? I'm setting up a first stop loss, right, and then target I can adjust later, right? So for me, and I'm going to go with the value of 20k. 20k, right? Stop will be above these highs which been manipulated, which is 2790, right? And it's a 0.5% for me risk, and take profit 2.4, right? And I'm going to short it, and now I'm going to adjust my target, right? So my target could be a little bit bigger, right? However, I will definitely want to take some partials, right? So I'm going to set up my alarms in here, also in here, right, on these lows, and then I will try to hold something longer, right? But we'll need to close it at the time, and yeah, so what was the price? It's 2.3. Right, I obviously understand most of you probably looking for this daily action, right? Daily trading. Yeah, 200x leverage, right? Yeah, guys, and I completely understand this, right? When I've been actually starting, when I've been in my beginnings of the trading, I thought that I have to trade every day to make money, right? That I need to do some action, right? Because this mindset is from the 9 to 5 job, like you have to do something, you have to do action to earn money, right? But actually in the end it's about doing a good decisions in the right time, right? So sometimes and also if you're doing your journal, your trading journal, you will find out that you are able to get great trades. But if you're not profitable, it's probably because you do the bullshits in the time when you shouldn't do anything, right? That's when the most of the mistakes are made, right? When you shouldn't do anything, you think you forcing the setups, right? So we will see how it goes. Meanwhile, let's check some other charts, right? So it is no, this is the funded one. I personally trade. I have mainly personal accounts. Link. Okay, here's the link. Right link also looks good to me, but I'm interested to trade here, right? Not here. Obviously, again, it makes sense. It makes sense that it will drop lower, right? Why? Because we will go into a discount, right, which is below 50% of this swing, right? So it all aligns like a some pullback on the Bitcoin is coming, right, which will takes down all of these SUI, right, Doge also, right. You can see price has pumped, now is ranging in here, right. I would be interested here, right. Meanwhile, could I short? I could, but it can go higher, right? I don't need to overcomplicate it, and I don't need to be trading all ups and downs, right? No, I'm building the if-then scenarios, right? So my scenario and high probability is that if the price drops lower down here, I would be interested to stalk for my setup and go up, right? Does it works also on Forex? Do you do it? Yes, it works on the Forex. I'm actually mainly a Forex trader, right? Yeah, so here's the link, right? Waiting for that. So the advantage, our advantage right now on this Ethereum trade is that, as we can see, all the other markets, actually doing this range and making this dump, right? This is already in play, right? This one is ranging, probably dump coming, right? But look, we picked up the Ethereum, which has just taken these highs, right? So it has the most probability that the drop could be better than if we just want to short this on the Bitcoin, right? Because what we're gonna do here, we would be shorting the low, right? But on the Ethereum, we are actually selling not the exact high, but the high of the range, right? Yeah, Neris, yeah, I'm trading since 2013, and I've been starting with the Forex, which is still my, what has more perspective, Forex or crypto from your point? Yeah, I cannot say that the Forex is better than crypto or the crypto is better than Forex. Each of them, and also the indices or some stocks, it has each own specifics, right? Um, I would say that I cannot say one is better than another one, right? Uh, Crypto has a great setups and great pumps time to time, but you can see right now you get these boring stages, right? You get it also in the Forex, you get it also in the indices. In the end, everything is a chart, right? Here on the right corner, we can see BTC USD 4 hours, right? But if you simply remove it, it doesn't matter. It will be still the chart. It will be still your highs, lows, Fibonacci, ranges, whatever. I can trade anything, right? Where do you make stop loss? Where do you put stop loss? Yes, stop loss is, look, I show you how I'm always planning my stop losses, right? What I want to do is, now I have stop loss in here, right? What I would never do is trying to sell here, right? You should never be selling in here. Why? Because this thing in here called double top is basically a now I'm gonna have to say that, but I said we don't want to say that. It's like this retail formation, right? It's a formation, double top, right? So what people thinking? All right, price been rejected 2 times in here, it will not go there anymore. But exactly the opposite is going to happen, right? Why they doing this? Why this is happening? Because they setting up a liquidity in here for which the market makers will come, right? Let me show you back here in the Bitcoin, right? If we just zoom a little bit back on the weekly, right? Look, in here, right? Price took the liquid, doesn't matter what has happened here, but in here, look. This is also kind of double top, right? Look. one top, second top, right? What is happening here, right? Trend line break, right? So what people did in here, right? They see double top, they see trend line break. All right, let's short in here because this is double top rejection. Price will not go there anymore, right? We have trend line break. Let's short it here. Boom, and they go inside, right? They go against them, right? Right. So that's the same thing which we have seen right now in on that Ethereum, right? Again in here, look, again double top, right? Double top, and then you have the manipulation in here. In one moment, right now we can see just this pin bar, right? But imagine if you don't see the candles which has been happened in here behind this line, and in one moment this candle was very bearish, and it was in here, it was looking ultra bearish in here, so people was entering here. Why? Because this is of course again double top, right? And they think that the price will not go there, but it's going there, right? So you should never put a trade above these highs, right? And once these highs are taken, like it has happened in here on the Ethereum, right? Like it has happened in here, right? So what has happened in here? Those people who shorted this double top, right? They are stopped out. But also there is the other side of the traders, those who entered at the breakout longs, right? Because this is clear breakout in here, right? So they entered at breakout in here, and they will have stop losses where? Maybe in here, maybe in here, maybe in here, right? So you should I'm basically trying to be like a counter trader against these things, right? What the most people are doing, right? USDX looks like it's model number 2. US dollar. You mean dollar index, right? You guys, your comments are funny. Dollar index. Yeah, dollar index looks. It can look like a model number 2 in here, but I'm not sure if I want to take it now. I would not be interested. We had actually this trade in the stream in the beginning of this week. This one. Right, and was again the same thing, right? We had the range, manipulation, price closing inside. We entered on the 199 100, right? And then price went higher. I closed it earlier, but look, it's a 4 hours time frame, right? So this trade took me 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 4 hours candles, right? It was almost 2 days, right? This how it looks on the 1 hour, right? Yeah, Michal, I'm not sure about the model number 2 in here, because I know you probably watching this weekly range. Let me actually clear it all of this here. Yeah, I know what you're looking for. You're looking for this weekly range in here. Let me bring it on the weekly. You watching this weekly range in here. right, and model 2 in here, right? Yeah, it's possible, but as it is end of the month, I wouldn't do it, right? And this can also be in correlation with the dollar index, with the Bitcoin, right? So probably if the dollar gets stronger, the Bitcoin will most likely short term go long or lower, right? I can imagine they snipping coins on the guys. You fucking. What comes with the new month? Um, yeah, I mean, what I'm doing is mostly, look, for me, what is always important is to looking just for the high probability trades, right? So therefore, I know when is a low probability conditions, right? Oh, look, we have $8 profit, right? So to know where is a low probability condition. So let me take you here, which is my trading hub. That's where I am collecting my trades and my notes, right? And I have here written down my low probability conditions, right? So what is it? Last or first day of the new month, right? That's a low probability conditions for me. Price in the middle of the higher time frame of the range, right? Or price trapped between two opposing key levels. And also the 3 daily candle rules, right? It's also same for the weekly, right? So let me show you on the chart, right? What does it mean for me on the Bitcoin, right? We have end of the month, right? I mean, today is a Thursday, tomorrow Friday, we have, that's end of the month. Now price trapped in the range, right? If you look on the weekly, 3 days, 3 candles rule is that if we have 3 bullish candles, I'm not looking for longs. I'm expecting pullback, right? What comes with the new month, right? What else was there? 3 days candle, price in the rise, price trap at what is A plus setup? Of course, I can show you some A plus setups. That would be, okay, let's check this one. Here's some BTC trade, right? Yeah, this was A plus setup, right? Look. When you got the range, then you got clear manipulation, right? And then you get this. Why does it close? And then you get this, right? Manipulation, price close above the creates order block, and you have entry and you targeting the opposing range, right? And you can catch Bitcoin from the 82k to the 102k, right? That's, in my opinion, A plus setup, right? And it has nicely played in here. Actually shared it on my trading view also, right? Beautiful. That's actually what you can see in here, right? That's my setup. That's what I'm looking for, right? So what is this Ethereum doing, right? All right. Seems like it's going down, right? We will see. Seems like it's dumping, but slowly, right? We will see. All right, guys. So it's 2 minutes into 6 o'clock. Unfortunately, today I cannot make it longer than 1 hour. So if anyone has any questions, quickly ask right now. I will drink from this my special glass. I will post this trade in the Discord. We will see how it goes. Another nice stream. Thanks for your insight. You are welcome, guys. Today was really funny. Today was really funny. Some questions and the comments, guys. Yeah. But for the future, I understand that there is a lot of gamblers. Those of you young people. For I think maybe in 3 weeks we will start to do some more daily intraday action, right? In the order flow and some kind of this scalping. All right, my friends. So I'm gonna stop it here. You take care. Don't gamble. Don't risk. Remember, day trading doesn't mean trading every day. And keep your risk under control, because even the best strategies having a losing streaks, right? And only the risk management can take you through that. All right. Well, I want to learn more from your live streams. Same if you can get your PDF videos. I have to learn more, but the streams means a lot to get information. That's great, my friends. Yes. I'm actually doing, but I'm not gonna tell. I'm not gonna say right now, right? But yeah, this my PDF, the videos, the basic trading camp, base camp, is gonna be out in the 1 or 2 weeks, right? So then you can watch it and you will understand the basics of the strategy and how I'm looking to the markets. It's nothing really difficult, I would say, and you can adopt something from that, right, and put it as a part of your trading style, right? Obviously, and this is my advice. If you're learning trading, you need to take informations from everywhere you can, but every time backtest it, test it by yourself, and adapt what is useful, reject what is useless, and add something specifically your own, and build on your own hybrid system, something what fits you, right? So yeah, that would be my advice to the end of the stream, my friends. Bye bye.